My 30th birthday. I woke up to silence. No calls, no texts, no birthday notification from a family group chat that's usually buzzed before 7 a.m. I told myself it was early. I told myself they were roughly planning something. I'll pipe it. The car you built from years of being the responsible one. I opened Facebook. There's was a carousel post. My parents, my sister Chess, and her boyfriend Tyler. All sun kiss and training at the Las Vegas Boulevard. Champagne flows. Neon lights. My mother Diane's arms thrown around Chad's legs before handing her the word. The caption read, "Subscribe straight for our girl. She never stops making a beam." I stared at the screen until my coffee went cold. I'm Glenn. I'm 30 years old. And that morning, scrolling through strangers' comments telling my sisters they deserve everything. I finally understood what family hierarchy really means. They had it forgotten my birthday. They had decided it didn't matter. For years, I have been the quiet one, the reliable one, the one who answered calls at midnight and never asked to be thanked. I had covered Chester and Twine when Tyler lost his job. I had wired my mother $6,500 for an emergency roof repair or the house that has my name on zero documents. I had absorbed my father Robert's casual days. Finance is just number pushing, Claire. Everyone with a calculator could do your job. And smiled through every single one. And now, while they order overpriced cocktails on the street, I was home working overtime, quietly managing the family emergency fund, $22,000 that I had built and maintained for 3 years because I believe in safety nets for the people I love. I sat down my mug, opened my banking app with both hands steady. Transfer. Confirm. Every dollar from a family fund moved into a new was no account. One only I could access, because I was the only one who ever logged in anyway. I closed the app, looked out my apartment window at the gray Chicago morning, and whispered to no one in particular. You want it right? Fine, but Fry doesn't pay my rent. Outside, a light rain had started. It felt like a storm in more like a mission. By noon, my phone lit up. Mom's name. I let it ring twice, then answers on the third. Her voice looked frantic, in the way it's always got when something she hadn't planned for starts happening. Claire, someone is wrong in the account. The cards were the line at the hotel, in front of everyone. I leaned back in my chair. That's strange, I said, keeping my voice even. Didn't your captain say Chess was the only one who makes you frown? Maybe they'll Cal agreed. A sharp pause, then lower. Don't make this about you. You're being dramatic. Your sister needed this trip. Funny, I said. I needed a happy birthday. Guess we both disappointed. She hung up before I could. 20 minutes later, Robert's voicemail arrived, short and hard. Maya, fix this. Now, before your mother has a breakdown. He still called me Maya sometimes, the name of whoever he needed me to be in the moment. Just says it next. A full paragraph. You're seriously going to ruin this for all of us. You don't even have a lie outside of a spreadsheet. You've always been jealous that people actually like her. Grow up. I read it twice. Then I tried back to worse. Enjoy budgeting. I turned off my phone, put on my coat. I walked out into the city. It was cold the way Chicago always is in October. The Cubs cold that clears your head. I walked 4 blocks before I realized I was smiling. Not a performance smile. A real one. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like their backup plan. I felt like my own person. The one who had finally decided where her generosity ended and her self-respect began. The next morning, I woke up to 43 missed calls in the group chat renamed to Family Account Issues. Urgent. Robert's email right at 6:47 a.m. Code clicked. What you did is unforgivable. Family doesn't betray family. Fix this before it gets worse. I read it once. Then I opened a folder on my desktop I had kept for no reasons I could have named at the time. Maybe instincts, maybe a caring habit. And I found the file. Financial record. 2020, 2024. Every transfer, every wire, every emergency. March 2023. Just rent $4,200. July 2022. Diane's for repair loan, $6,500. November 2021. Robert's car breakdown, $3,800. Various family emergencies, 2020 to 2024, $7,100. Total transfer out, $21,600. Amount repaid, zero. I attached the PDF to Robert's email. In the body, I taught one line. Family doesn't spell family either. Then I hit send. By afternoon, the file had been opened 7 times. My Aunt Karen called me from her car, her voice low and almost amused. They are panicking, Claire. Your dad's furious. Your mom's crying. What did you do? She's a little counting. I said. She laughed. Good. About time. That evening, I logged into my account and sent $5,000 to the Chicago Women's Financial Empowerment Network, a nonprofit that helps women entangle themselves from financial abuse and manipulation. In a memo line, I wrote, "Better investment." I made a cup of tea, sat in my quiet apartment, and felt something I hadn't felt in years, balanced. 3 months passed. No calls, no emails, no guilt. I got promoted to senior financial analyst. My manager shook my hand and says it was long overdue. I took myself out to dinner that night. A real dinner. The kind where you order the thing you actually want. And I didn't feel the need to tell anyone. On evenings and weekends, I started building something I've been sketching in my journal for 2 years. A workshop called Money and Me. 6 sessions. Designed for women who have been manipulated, controlled, or quietly framed through finance by people who were supposed to love them. The first section ran down of a community center at Wicker Park. 12 women show up. By the third week, there were 26. At one session, a woman in her late 40s asked quietly, "What made you start this?" I didn't have to think about my answer. A family who taught me everything about that. I said, "Just not the kind you would pay." A few people laughed. A few people didn't. Both responses felt frank. A week later, I found a small envelope in my mailbox. No return address. Inside was a photograph. Me and just a kiss, maybe 7 and 9, eating melting ice cream on the porch of the old house. On the back, in my mother's handwriting, "We went too far. I'm sorry." I didn't cry. I didn't call her. I placed the photo inside a folder I labeled "Pass" and slid it into the back of my desk drawer. A few days after that, just stated, "Mom's been quiet so lately. She wants to reach out. No pressure." I typed every line, then paused, then rewrote it. "Tell her I hope she's okay. I'm okay too. That's enough for now." I hit send. Then I went back to my lesson plan. 8 months after that birthday morning, I stood on the stage in Austin, Texas. The banner behind me read, "Reclaim your worth, money, batteries, and self-respect." The Women's and Wealth Conference held a chance after one of my workshop participants posted about Money and Me in a Facebook group. 300 women sat in front of me. I had never spoken to room design. I looked down at them and said, "My family taught me early that love can come from conditions. What I never understood is I learned to build without the applause." The room went wild first, then loud, but I didn't feel frown exactly. I felt grounded, like something heavy that had been shifting for years has finally settled into place. After the sessions, a young woman lingered near the stage. She couldn't have been more than 24. She was clutching a notebook against her chest like a shield. "My mom says I owe her everything," she says, barely above a whisper, "including my paycheck." I looked at her for a moment. Then I said, "Then start by owing yourself peace. That's the first debt you pay." Her eyes fell out. I recognized the look. Not sadness exactly. Recognition. That night in my hotel room, overlooking the downtown Austin skyline, Chest's name appears on my screen. "Mom saw your talk online. She said she's proud of you. I stared at the message for a long time. Years ago, those words would have meant everything. They would have rearranged something inside me. Now they just sat there, distant, like a song you used to love playing from another room. I typed back, "Tell her thank you. That's enough." I muted the thread, turned toward the window. The city hummed below, indifferent and alive. I sat with it until I was ready to sleep. 1 year later, I celebrated my birthday somewhere I had never been on purpose. No family, no group chats, no performance of radios or togetherness. Just me, a carry-on bag, and a one-way ticket to Sedona, Arizona. I sat on a flat red rock and the sun fell behind the canyon walls. The sky got orange, then pink, then a deep, almost impossible purple. I thought about every version of myself I had been. The girl who stayed up past midnight filling out her sister's college applications. The woman who wired money at 11 p.m. and told herself it was love. The one who has waited for her parents' approval, like it was something she had to earn through enough years of quiet sacrifice. My phone buzzed once. In an email from the foundation accountants I hired 6 months before. "Happy birthday, Claire. The Claire Wayne Financial Scholarships is officially active. First two recipients selected, both first-generation college students studying business and economics." I read it twice. Then I sat very still for a moment, and then I cried, not because I was sad, but because something that had started as a wound has turned into something real and permanent and good. The family fund has finally found a purpose, one they would never fully understand, and that's what fine. Later that evening, a text from Diane. So the news about your scholarship program. We love you, Claire. I held the phone. My chest broke quiet. No ache, no rush of relief. Just a kind of calm clarity that felt earned. I typed back, "Thank you, Mom. I hope you find your own peace too." Then I set the phone face down on the rock beside me and watched the last line leave the cake, because I had learned something that year that no stretches could teach. Sometimes the most radical thing a woman can do is decide that this time the celebration is finally for her. I whispered to the canyon, to the sky, to no one and no one and no one. "Happy birthday, Claire." And somewhere in the wild between the red rock and the stars, I knew, for the first time, that this one counted.